All right, so welcome to this episode of SBC TV, and I'm here with our esteemed veteran pub tender, Jeremy the Curl Van Sice, and he came out today.
Thanks for having me.
To basically bring back a historical moment in time where he balanced a pint of beer on his chin as he poured a beer to celebrate this month's release of the Curl. Thanks for coming over, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Cheers, Joe. Good stuff. Nothing wrong with that.
When's the last time you did this?
Last time I did this would have been 7 years ago, I think. 8 years. That's going to be awesome.
So thanks a lot for coming.
Yep.
And
good to be here. I've waited a long time to be able to dust off my microphone, and I appreciate you having me. It means a lot.
Well, I remember the one day that I was making beer, and I don't remember what I was making that day, but I remember you leaning over the railing and you were like, "Hey, Joe, you ever thought about making a double Pilsner?" I'm like, "No, Jerry, I haven't. But it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
We should do that." And I think in short time, I don't know, like maybe a couple, 3-4 weeks later, we made it.
What? Yeah.
Put all Amarillo hops in it.
My favorite hop.
Lots of corn.
Yeah, I mean, as if Joe didn't have enough on his plate. You know, the funny thing about it is, I'm pub tending. He's going crazy trying to get his business rolling. You know, it's all fresh and new. And, as if, hey, do you think you could just make this beer I want? Yeah, no problem. So, yeah.
Well, that's always the fun part.
Yeah, it was cool. It was good to be a part of that time. And, it was beautiful. And, what's awesome about it is the fact that, everybody had ideas. Everyone's got an idea for Joe, hey, you should do this, you should do that, and for some reason he just was like, yeah, okay, Jer. Well, yeah, we'll do that. And so it's pretty fantastic. It speaks volumes. On top of the fact that he made the beer I wanted, he also allowed me to balance beer on a stick, at the bar, pouring beers in front of a packed crowd. And
well, it would be just silly not to let you do that.
Yeah. So here we are.
Well, it's also sort of a cool time to remember is that was one of our first bottled beers that was all hand bottled. And
along with the mystery stout.
Yeah, it was married at the hip with the mystery stout, but some of our old school design work, like Brad Kick had done, and then him and Amanda were the original creators of our first website, which was super cool. And it was back in the day when I think there was only like 10 people that were employed by Shorts. So, and I don't know, this beer, every time it comes out, we've gone from, 250 barrels to 35,000 barrels of beer. And every time that this beer comes out, it reminds me of like that, those days where like things were so rough and hard and like pure. And, we were just so naive as to how like everything worked in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But we had this great spirit and this great energy of like that original core crew. And you were definitely one of those characters where it was like, Jer had the old, the towel over his shoulder and just wiped down that bar like nobody's business, and knew everybody who came in the door, and just a solid pub tender. So.
Yeah, I was actually working construction for Floyd Brightup, and
who helped do the mosaic.
In the pub. And I accidentally shot a nail. I had a nail. I wasn't very good at construction, and I shot a nail gun and it went through my finger. And so I went to the doctor. And so the first place I went after the doctor was they were working on, putting the building together. And Joe says like, Jer, you're not a carpenter, buddy. He's like, you need to come down here and help us out, talk to people, help me sell some beer, And so, I was at a turning point in my life. Like, am I going to be a carpenter? What am I going to do here? And Joe was there with open arms and took me in, it was like family.
Yeah. Well,
it was crazy. I came in with my hand and Joe's like, I don't think you should be doing construction anymore, Jer.
Well, I remember, Josh Jones bringing it to my attention. It's like, Jared just loves that bar. Like, he polishes it. Like, it's his baby.
I loved it. I still love it.
We should just make him a bartender. Yeah, that's a good idea.
In fact, the pub opening, I was doorman on the back door. And I got to I relieved a bartender. And I saw Joe and Josh looking at me. And I was like, see me here, see me guys. And so that was it, I'm like, I'm tired of being the door guy back here. I'm gonna go give one of those bartenders a break, and the rest is history.
Back when you had to get in and bring a piece of furniture with you, that was part of the
BYOF.
deal. Yeah, we started with 0 furniture, so your key into the pub was to bring a piece of furniture. And a lot of people use that as an excuse to like get rid of all the crap in their garage. So we ended up being the dumpster for a lot of people.
Nifty Thrifty / brewery.
Yeah. But it worked out.
Yeah.
We finally got rid of all the folding chairs. That was huge.
Well, we did the obvious thing when you need furniture and pub furniture. Let's go to Swain's.
Right. Let's cut out some old Cadillac seats.
Get some Cadillac seats and do it
sweet
right.
67 Lincoln.
Oh, that's awesome. So I couldn't be more proud, brother.
Likewise, I'll cheers mics with you.
Yeah.
And
how about this guy?
So, but some cool stuff in your life has changed since your time at Shorts.
Oh yeah,
you did continue in the construction trade, I believe.
I did continue in the construction trade.
Also pursued the fermentation trade.
I did.
And you're doing quite well.
So far, so good. Yeah, I was inspired by what Joe did, and I knew it was an eye-opening, experience to be thrown into this, like the craft beverage world. It's like, wow, these are my people. I love what everyone's got going on. I love cider. I love beer. I love mead. I love bourbon. So, and I eventually became, I started beekeeping, and then got into mead.
These bees are powerful creatures.
Yes, they are.
They have a great history.
Yes, they do.
Honey is the one of the only foods that will never rot.
That's correct. Never goes bad. They're discovering honey from Egyptian times that are in these little pockets, in these little underground caves, and then they bring it back.
Well, and some of the things in the afterlife that I understand, they bring all these important things into their tomb that they want to take to them in the afterlife. One of them was honey or mead or beer. And music, which I find is very interesting.
Yeah, it's awesome. Buried with their mandolins.
More or
literally,
less. Yeah.
Right? I want to have a good time when I go.
Yeah, let's bring on the booze and the music and party in the next round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everything's going good. Everything's going good. It's I understand now where Joe was 10 years ago, and when I would see Joe, I know now what he was thinking and going through, and it's scary. It's
going to be one of my questions. Like,
it's
after
scary stuff, buddy.
Witnessing all that, what on earth would possess you to do it yourself?
Yeah, I just think that it was just so fun. As stressed as you might get, the industry of brewing is, the people are fantastic, and the customers are fantastic, and it's more positive than negative. And so it's just, these are my people. I want to be surrounded by these people.
And you work with your brother, Chris.
Big brother, Chris, yep.
I work with Chris through email occasionally. I try to be a good resource for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
You just emailed me, I think, 2 days ago about bottles.
Yep. And
hopefully you guys are figuring...
we're actually making mead in the original vats that were used to make the original Curl and the Mystery Stout.
Right.
And
some
in one day, what was it?
Tanks that were below.
I think it was the sustenance ale. Joe solo bottled 1,200 bottles. Was it?
Yeah,
1,200 bottles in one day.
Gone.
So
I can't remember. I try to forget all those things.
I was talking to, I think it's Nate that works on your bottling line.
Yeah.
And I gave him a tour of the meadery, and he kind of was chuckling. And I said, look at this. I said, we can do 100 cases a day. Nate, can you believe this? He's like, He started to tell me about the new Shorts bottling line.
Yeah, Nate came in on the version 3.0 filler, which is ridiculous.
He's a proud employee.
Yes, he is,
Yeah.
and he does a great job with it. But it's funny because we went from the Maheen, which was 4 bottles at a time. It took us 36 hours straight of work of hand labeling with Elmer's glue to fill our first truck, which we have video of all this. It's crazy. Scott Newman Bale keeping time.
Of course.
And then this whole line of people who were like basically using towels to wipe off all the glue smears. And then after that, we upgraded to a filler that was designed for wine. It was never designed for any carbonated product that would produce.
It was a forehead filler?
It was 12. It would produce about 45 bottles a minute. And then we bit the bullet just this last year to buy the 150 bottle a minute filler. And if you haven't been to the facility, you got to come see it.
The last time I was there, you were rocking the Maheens.
Yeah, that was a sad day. It's a sad day. Never wanted to bottle beer ever. For that reason.
Joe put me on the bottling line, and I was too busy talking to Joe to pay attention. So like the caps are backing up, and he's like, Jared, no, you got to pay
it's
attention.
It's like playing Connect 4. You got to like get that cap in there.
And I'm like, yeah. So Joe, what have you been doing? He's come a long way.
It has, yeah.
It's awesome. And I've done a lot for the town, I love coming into town and seeing no place to park and a line of people coming out the door. Does my heart good.
Well, one of the things I always like to touch on is that guys of our generation are starting families, and Simon and Emma were born on the same day or within like 6 hours of each other. And we saw each other at the hospital. Both had our first babies together. It
was awesome.
And that's pretty encouraging, because as commerce and all these things change in the town, that we're able to build lives and grow communities with, this next generation coming through. Mm-hmm. Succession planning and stuff. Like, are Simon and Elmer going to want to take over the brewery? Are your kids going to want to do that?
They're going to be beekeepers,
right?
Do they even? I think oh, this is. I don't want to do that.
So what's the deal with bees? Like everybody's kind of freaked out that there's a huge loss of
on a local level or on a
I think on a global level, it's kind of a concern because without bees we all kind of die.
Yes,
right?
Fact. It's a fact.
Yeah.
And, I think.
So thanks for being a beekeeper.
Yeah, you. There's a lot
Thanks for keeping us all alive,
There's
Jared.
all kinds of conspiracy theories as to what's going on with the bees, but
So when we run out of bees, can we come?
Yes, you can. I think that people are pushing bees a little bit harder. They're used to doing, one honey flow per season, and now I think that people are trying to, they'll get the honey flow in Michigan, and then they're going to head down to Georgia. And then their bees are going to get fill the hives again, and they're going to take the honey. And then they're going to go to Florida, and they're going to hit green pepper season down by Tampa, and then they're going to head back up to Michigan in the spring. And so bees are being forced to work.
Spreading them thin.
Yeah, they're being forced to work much harder. And then,
not that they don't work hard enough already. Like
yes.
Hey, why don't you guys just go cover this 1,000 acres and when you get back, we're gonna truck you.
Every single cherry, every single apple, every single fruit, excluding maybe the grape, it's because a single bee made it possible for that piece of fruit to exist. So, we need the bees.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, Soft Parade needs the raspberries and the blueberries and the blackberries.
Yeah, that's concerning. We need our own bees for our own Soft Parade production.
How about the rooftop?
The rooftop gardens?
Apiary, yes.
Yeah. It's not out of the question.
As if you don't have enough irons in the fire.
Well, it could be part of a complete downtown redevelopment vision.
I love it.
We could make that a menu option on the Scantron.
Yeah, there's actually a beekeeper that does bees on the roof of the Vatican. And you can buy that honey. I mean, it's a crazy price, but I mean,
it will make you holy.
Yes, it will.
Yes. I am all good this week, dear. I've eaten a tablespoon of Vatican honey every day.
Yep. And I went to the garage sale and I purchased some bourbon.
And I got some sweet bourbon collection from China. Where is the porcelain sculpture guy?
Yeah, Kentucky via China.
Ski whiskey Indian sculptures. And the bourbon was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, here's to the yard sale.
Right. Love a good Catholic yard sale.
This one's still got some cork in it. Yeah, that's good.
That's the real deal.
It's pretty smooth. Yeah. It's no Colonel Taylor, but...
Well, Colonel Taylor doesn't come out of a vessel like that. I'll tell you that.
That is true. There you go.
That would be my finest accomplishment at Shorts, by the way, would be the fact that I met my wife at Shorts, who was working in the kitchen. And
Hell of a deli work.
because of my mad skills with the curl scepter.
Scepter being the stick that you hold on your chin that holds the beer.
It holds the beer. It was just an awesome time to be there and part of it. And Joe's cousin, who's my wife now, Joe's a big family guy. So he was in the beginning. Had Chad was painting, and Stacy was going to work in the kitchen. And Joe had this vision for all of his family. And Cody, Cody was what, 14?
Yeah.
Ricky was coming up from Flint.
Right.
You had the whole fam was just,
We were digging deep.
Yeah, we were digging deep, man. But yeah, that's, I met my wife worked in the kitchen and it was love at first sight. Here I am now with our 3 children, happily married, 10 years strong.
Making cider and meads.
Making cider and mead. So.
In Antrim County.
In Antrim County.
It's great.
Loving it. Thank you.
Cheers again.
Cheers to you.
That was good.
Was I originally going into the glass when I first?
You were here like this.
Gotcha.
I could zoom in or zoom out while I was doing it. No. Cheers. Cheers, Joe.
That was right.